I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disabled.
Disheveled.
Disheveled? Disheveled?
Disheveled.
I thought it was disheveled.
It's
Words.
disheveled.
S-H. Disheveled.
Disheveled and out of breath. A feat, if I take into account my usual travel time.
I thought, for some reason I read that as my usual time travel.
Wow. Routine clamor common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxborn office greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about.
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees? What the actual fuck, guys?
That's better.
Of all the times to disappear without notice.
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is, half their workload have been shifted to all available staff, so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
God, that fucking face. Still horrifying.
I just farted a little.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet, documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible.
Now she looks like she's straining. I'm so happy.
I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods. Physically, too, that was cool.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Yeah, make sure they're not,
Please.
like,
I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose.
Demons!
or alien demons.
Aryan demons, yeah. That's no fun.
I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all. Nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, Having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unamusing impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for and the process contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest, as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they are buying, or he simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah clasps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene. We're almost
They're
there."
about to sell this, and she's trying to talk them out of it now.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
Oh, pouty.
The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
Rose got this look like, shut up, you fucking idiot.
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
No, helipad.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
Yeah.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course.
God, that face is still creepy.
You can leave it to us.
Rose just kind of looks creepy anyways, a little
Yeah.
bit. Don't you think, Blair? She's a little disturbing looking.
It's because the chin and jaw is just too small and it just throws it off.
Massive head.
They grow into their eyes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
Wow.
She opens it up and it's just like play money.
Oh, God.
It's got some like chocolate
Did
on
I
it.
mention we reward our people generously?
Yeah.
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Why not, love?
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
Yikes.
This is just our couch money.
This is the money for that couch. I mean,
So,
sofa. She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plans as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house.
Yeah.
You can do that,
Yay,
yes?
Great choice of
Here's her
words.
contact.
Right?
Here's a contact.
Certainly, ma'am.
Here's
We'll
our
have it
contact.
processed as soon
It's
as
a
possible.
carrier pigeon, but it's petrified.
Oh, God. I just realized something. Somebody's eating ramen in the background. Except there's nobody in the chair. She's sitting there, cold
So
probably.
You want ramen is what you're telling me.
Yeah, sounds real good.
I'll do that.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you too soon so we can get this closed.
Yeah.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact no lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well, once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that? Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money, Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell him next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too, aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food.
Yeah.
Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
She's got to save that chunk of money she just got and dig into Isabella's.
Right?
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me.
Wow.
But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that.
Are you gonna...
Yep.
Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
I'm drinking tea!
Oh, I'm too. Lovely.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Bum, bum, bum.
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
Yeah.
I doubt it,
ran
though.
Away.
He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows?
Wimp! 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 I mean, hi.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out. But oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry packing your lunch, instant noodle cups are so good.
Nom 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 nom.
Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too? TJ, who's next?
In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time.
Well, that was a quick
Quaint.
scene change.
Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same.
Hey Blair, that's you at the register, right?
Ha!
Except you shaved your face. Don't you hiss at me.
You hissed.
Don't you hiss at me. Don't you hiss too?
I was just hissing. Man.
Uh-huh.
Much like its
Slap.
facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it.
Hey. Hey.
Vintage arched pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the others. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of differing interests. That, or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in the group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I am a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me.
She's like, spill. Okay.
Let's order
bye.
food first, okay?
Let me spill, okay.
Isabella bells or so? Jesus. That's a bit harsh, guys.
What?
a waitress comes by to take our order.
A waitress
On a
comes by to
normal
meow
day,
at us.
me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Get down! Sorry. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. But today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Calzone.
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it, nevertheless, and leaves without a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
Don't get him doing that.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago.
Oh, I'd love to see a flashback for that.
Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom.
Ow.
A small, sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy.
Oh, that looks good.
Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of smashed potatoes on the side. Or at least that's what the daily specials board says.
I'd eat that. I'd smash my face on that
Smash
plate.
those potatoes. And I'd smash that plate.
A little heavy on the asparagus.
I like asparagus.
Well, you
It's
guys
a
can have
little
the
heavy.
asparagus. I'll just eat everything else.
I never did pay any attention to it whenever I come here, since they price whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Guilty.
Hey! Not all the time.
I say that too, but still guilty.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
I do that all the time. Guilty.
What's breakfast?
Yeah, right?
Delicious.
Not on
What about
purpose.
second breakfast?
I may have overslept by a
Elevensies.
few seconds today.
Second breakfast?
11's afternoon.
Everything just
dinner,
shakes. An
supper.
earthquake! I need to find like a stabilizer for that damn thing.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
In expecting. Will you stop it? Down. An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Ah, bummer. Maybe I should rephrase it.
My instant noodle days are over. Ash is not here, so we should
No.
celebrate.
I'll be the tiebreaker.
I feel like it'd just be my instant noodle days are over. That would, from her standpoint, she's buying lunch.
I'm gonna say Ash is not here, so we should celebrate.
What do you pick, Blair?
I like it as a joke, but they might misconstrue it too badly, so Noodle Day.
Noodle Day!
Okay, let me do that again. Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Why are you so surprised?
I'm like, oh, you're stupid.
Yeah,
You couldn't
bitch.
possibly do that.
Yep.
Bitch!
It's just too freaking naive to even counter that.
Which house is this? In Anselm Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
Yeah, what other house has she been actually talking with you guys in the chat room?
Now Becca sounds stupid. I thought you were his
Yeah.
teacher, bitch.
Right?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, she calls her on it. Oh!
Oh. Oh, wow. That's...
Are you mad because your friend succeeded? Are you even a friend?
Ow.
Sorry.
She lets out a hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it.
Bitch.
Bitch. Did you think we wouldn't be able to sell it?
Yeah, we just thought that a couple lines ago.
Have some faith in me, Becca. I'm not your best friend or what? Am I not your best friend or what?
Damn.
Obviously not.
She's internally roasting right now. This part Becca can't hear though. Huh.
Yeah, but like, she's right. Like, you know, I thought we were
Yeah.
good friends, bitch.
You don't believe me?
Becca must die.
Oh my god, Blair's an anti-Becca.
Blair wants to kill Becca.
Oh god. Oh god.
We'll have to figure out how to kill her.
The words tumble out of my mouth before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
What? Now he's what? Bitch.
No, I do believe you.
Oh, right. I forgot the whole conversation that she just said. Never mind. I'm fine. I'm sorry. You're not a bitch anymore. I'm sorry, Dreddy boy.
But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
Yep.
What? We clubbed them over the head and put their money in our hands and put the deed in their hands. That's totally legal.
Yep.
It happens from time to time.
God.
Now I'm more on Becca's side, like, yeah, now it does sound really incomprehensible. You just started the open house and you sold it? What?
Yeah, but
There's like legal hurdles, aren't there? I mean, jeez.
look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something.
Too good to be true. Kind of feel.
Skeptic.
Fair
It
to
pays
think
to be
that way.
skeptical.
Yep.
Sometimes it pays to be skeptical. Like, I don't think I'm gonna win $100,000 today. That way, when you do, you know.
You know what's funny is that on the board back here it says BLACH, right?
It
Like
reminds
what?
me of
Blitz.
one of the sessions and everything. Alright, I'm gonna check my things if things are being stolen. I'm being paranoid, I know. No, it's good to be paranoid. Especially if there's things actually being stolen.
My mind, though, like, wandered to this, and the first thing my mind sees is biatch. With no I know it's an L,
Fuck
but
you,
I
Becca.
kind of see biatch. Biatch.
Okay.
Shall we move on?
What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know? They're a fraud, or they suddenly back out?
They've signed the paperwork. Even if they back out, the money is ours, legally. Ah.
Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Yeah.
Just trying to bring your friend down.
Rebecca does have a point,
Caution.
Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more like it. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'd only worry.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually
And-
pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it.
I'm waiting
No.
for the comprehension of the rights? You mean...
At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, they signed the agreement that they would go forward, and that pretty much would be held over their head in court if they were to try to cancel.
Alright,
What?
Jazzman, attorney at law.
Yeah, the agreement paper is literally
I'm not
to
saying you're wrong. It's,
agree to
let's
continue
do
forward.
the thing. The more we progress.
I
the more we
know.
can
We've actually made great
progress.
time.
And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Hush, hush.
Something as in...
Two midgets shitting in a bucket.
Her dildo.
Wow.
You're just so proud of yourself.
As in,
moving on.
it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
What's up?
He said
Nothing.
moving on.
I thought you said hold on.
No, he said
No, moving on.
Oh.
He wanted you to put the
Put the dildo in your
Click
vagina.
the
Got it.
button!
Wow, I can't believe you just said that on Stram. And on the
Click
YouTube.
the button! Come on! Come
I'm
on,
almost
let's get
surprised you
sexual
accepted.
horror!
I'm going! I'm
going!
God damn, we still have a bunch of new things to click down here
Yes,
eventually.
Eventually. Remember that later. Come on, come on!
Okay.
Good
Come
job,
on,
Jazz.
Okay, okay, no! I like it there. Nice and warm and moist.
Full of shit.
You're full of shit.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
okay,
Blair, what's
okay, I'm gonna
brown?
click the button.
What's brown and sticky?
Stick.
Damn
it! He knows that one. It's a dad joke. He's like the king of dad jokes. Okay.
Yet he's not a dad that we know of.
He's got like 500 illegitimate kids.
Oh god. Yeah, with those old what? Puppies?
Would we call them? Would we call them?
Okay, 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 okay. I'm gonna click it.
Blairlings?
I'm gonna Blairlings? Oh god.
Okay, go, go, go.
No.
Progression.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday.
Don't do that.
Okay.
I can hear it.
Okay.
That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
He's just throwing money at her face.
Catch, catch, catch.
Open your mouth, like
Why
trying to
bring
insert
up
it.
the
like
letter,
a-
you dumbass?
Huh?
Why did she
You
bring up the
don't really
letter,
think
you
they believe that, do
dumbass?
you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
Dumbass.
That's a pretty dumbass move.
Yep.
A&W. Wait, no, that's not how that goes.
Thick-headed. That's
Yeah,
pretty
no.
thick-headed.
What? I'm being facetious.
Don't care.
know.
Oh, well, there's you.
You just want to accept that I'm
Oh!
that
Yeah.
stupid. Oh, shit.
Ooh. Hold on, I gotta take one small moment. I do not have alerts on, so if somebody just hosted, I can't actually see that. Sorry.
Right.
I'm assuming
Well, if they
just because I
hosted,
saw
let's
something
proceed.
jump.
Let's move on.
I'm
Come
going!
on.
We are stalling too hard.
You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
Do it.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each, still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Aw. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again.
Wow!
I'm
If
just
it means I'm gonna get
concerned you'll
free
get hurt
food-
if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
What, Blair?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, even though who
Those.
have known, even those. Why did my brain say though?
It's
Okay,
okay.
even those who have known you long enough.
I read uninhibited as uninhabited a second ago.
Yeah. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion.
Scene change?
A laugh here, a playful jab there, but most of it is spent on catching up and telling stories about whatever is keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. If Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her motions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zack, it has always been better to wait. Let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent. Although with her, explosions of a temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca.
Damn.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dangle.
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone raises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zack. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down on as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Go back.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
Damn.
If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
Damn.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
I hate it when I do that.
It's okay.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at an unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell. But there's some things people like Zack aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He, of all people, should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee?
Yep.
Right, Becca?
An amused gleam in her eyes when I turn to her. Is in her eyes, nah. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know, after all. I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zack. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
Yeah.
What exhibit?
Uh-oh.
Classified information.
Ooh.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope,
Teasing
you
with
kept it
food. Teasing with... Ah! Bribe! Bribe! Put lo mein in front of me. I
Food,
spilled the
food.
beans.
We're getting two things.
What makes you
wrong.
think it's food? Giggity.
Oh, giggity! Oh, is that where the dog went?
Wow, so it's Becca's. And Isabella borrowed it. Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, who's got that vacuum on again? Okay.
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, putting her foot down.
Oh,
Right.
come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
We gotta know all my business, Becca. Are you an alien?
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff.
I ain't trying to deal with aliens and ghosts at the same time.
I mean, he is an alien. What?
Hasn't been done yet.
Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
What face? I didn't do nothing. I mean, I'm not. I can't do her hairstyle. Excuse you.
Well done, Blair. We're proud of you.
There's no face at all. Only a poor imitation of a puppy dog's eyes, if you could call this one.
You promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys.
Yeah.
Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. Awards night ain't for another week.
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. It's not like it's over for me, though. I still have time. I could still come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely, once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull.
Well,
The screen shows Rose.
if you could click decline in this, I'd laugh so hard.
Click right on the climb. Bye, Rose. Fuck off.
Hey, Isabella. You at the office?
Hang up.
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Rose looks so creepy in that picture, at least.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
McCullough.
Gotta include
McCullough.
the phlegm, right?
McCullough.
Yeah, when she says it, she adds a at the end.
I'm Marianne
McCullough.
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 She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxburn's streets.
Sounds like somebody's in traffic.
All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up and make out a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
When she has finally run out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the Wright's interior designer in her steed, and
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
classic Rose, she ends the call without even asking for my input.
The sky is cloudless, and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxburn remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fill the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me. Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a sidelong glance over something displayed on a shop window. Did she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turned my head at the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing and boring into my very soul like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct. Compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump, screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arm or her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa.
No, stop. Leave me alone.
Her face contorts and she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
It's like she's feeding on her fear, and if she looks away, then... yeah. Dork. Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from the screams I didn't even notice already coming out of my mouth. Back of my feet catches on a loose thump. Man, grammar. The back of my feet catch on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
Just got transported to a demon dimension and saw a ghost bitch. My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home in the pit of my stomach. like that train that's ringing out. I want to throw up anything to get the wretched sensation out.
You are screaming. Zach, call someone.
Okay.
Let me just call the Ghostbusters real quick.
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
Call Batman.
God damn it.
Batman.
Batman.
Pass me the salt. I attempt to smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I pushed her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity's stifling. Everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run.